kinds of good trips. Meanwhile, we've had a lot of attention here. We've had the Trump-Vance ticket in the state multiple times since their convention. You know that Vice President Harris was in town yesterday. I believe President Biden is coming to town this Friday. So we turn to Professor of Political Science and Director of the Center for Civic Engagement at Oakland University, to Professor Dave Dulio, to get a little handle on just how important Michigan is as this swing state they keep calling us. Professor Dulio, it's always a pleasure, sir.
Good afternoon, Paul W. Thanks for having me back.
We're pretty important, aren't we? We should take this pretty seriously.
Oh, absolutely. Michigan is ground zero for this presidential contest. We're right in there with the top tier swing states like Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. I'm of the opinion that this race is going to come down to those three Midwestern states, and Michigan's right in the middle of it.
Well, how are we doing so far for the Democrats, and how are we doing so far for the Republicans, in your learned opinion?
It's close. I think that, I would caution your listeners to not to hang on the edge of every poll that comes out and, think that the race is swinging one way or the other based on a single piece of survey research, right? We're going to see over the next 2 months polls that favor Harris and polls that favor Trump. I think the takeaway from all the surveys that are out there is that it's a tight race, and it's going to come down to the very end.
I would say, to put it another way, neither side can take anything for granted.
No, and I think that's a great segue into to your point about the candidate visits. Right, we've got candidates, they're surrogates here, seemingly in wall-to-wall fashion. Right, they have been here. And they are going to continue to be here to, in my mind, really try to make sure that their base remains enthusiastic. And come mid-October, they're going to really turn into get out the vote.
Now, I mean no disrespect, although it's going to sound like it, but we have a professor of political science, director of the Center for Civic Engagement at Oakland University, Professor Dave Dulio. I swear to you, and I've been traveling, so I haven't been watching the news. It was fabulous. I didn't watch any news. I didn't read any. It was just fabulous. Doing what I do, I have to immerse myself in this stuff. And it's not healthy the way things are, but be that as it may, I do that so that my listeners don't have to. But I swear to you, Kamala Harris had some kind of an accent when she was yelling at everybody yesterday at her events. I'm not making that up. I'm not belittling her, but I'm asking, did you notice that, Dave? I mean, it wasn't just her yelling, you better thank the UAW, you better thank the workers, but there was like a twinge or an accent, almost as if it reminded me of her taking a page out of Hillary Rodham Clinton's playbook, and I would suggest to her, she needs to take pages out of Bill Clinton's playbook, not Hillary Clinton's playbook. But did you notice any kind of an accent when she was yelling at everybody?
I don't know how you couldn't notice it. It was
good. I thought it was going crazy.
Oh, no, not in the least, right? And, you along with me have this occupational hazard where we have to pay attention to every twist and turn of this race. So I'm glad to hear you got away from it a little bit. But yeah, and when before you said it, Hillary Clinton was the first thing that came to my mind, right? Where, she was panned repeatedly for going to the South and somehow developing a Southern accent. And it sounds so inauthentic that people see right through it.
Right. And I haven't been able to catch up on everything, but I didn't see anything written about it, and I haven't seen anything on television about it. So at least I know I'm not going crazy because you heard it, and you're right. How could you miss it?
Yeah. I mean, and really the only place that I saw anything about it was social media. And, I think that, look, let's be honest about it. Vice President Harris has gotten some kid glove treatment from the mainstream media thus far.
That's putting it very mildly, yeah.
And it, I think this is maybe another example of that, although, a interesting sort of news cycle when it's a holiday. But, I think that I wonder if and when that kind of approach from the National Press Corps starts to shift. Certainly the debate is going to be inescapable, and I think that might produce some greater scrutiny, but we'll see.
Yeah, very quickly, I want to say, and we will cover this in greater detail as we get closer, but congratulations to you, Professor Dave Dulio. Oakland University's Center for Civic Engagement will host an event focused on Michigan's significance in this 2024 election come October 30th. It's a part of the Dennis Muchmore Public Policy Series. You've got some nice people coming in for it.
We sure do. Carl Rove and Donna Brazil, right? Two incredibly well-known, nationally renowned folks going to come to our campus and talk about Michigan's centrality in this election cycle. Folks can go to oakland.edu/CCE and register to attend. It'd be great.
Right, just a second. You took the question right out of my mouth. So they go to Oakland,
oakland.edu/CCE.
CCE. All right. Oakland.edu/CCE. And you can be a part of this event coming up October 30th at Oakland University. And we will have you back on to promote it and talk about it. All right, Professor?
Sounds good. Thanks very much, Paul W.
Professor of Political Science and Director of the Center for Civic Engagement at Oakland University, Professor Dave Dulio. As we continue in focus on WJR.